If you're watching this video, you're one in two situations probably. Either you have already decided that you want to get a sauna and now you're just comparing options and most likely feeling overwhelmed. Or you're just curious, but you're not fully convinced whether it's worth the money, it's worth the space, it's worth the effort. Either way, you are in the right place. Because today, I'm not going to tell you the usual thing that our sauna is the best and we make the best of the best, but I'm actually going to show you how to buy the right sauna in Dubai without getting fooled by different marketing claims, pretty pictures, or price tags that look attractive now, but they become annoying later. You know what I'm talking about. And even if you don't buy from us, this video will save you from making the most common mistakes that people make with saunas right here. So most people buy something that looks impressive, but usually they don't use it. And the only sauna that works best is the one that you actually use. So let's start with the truth most companies are now going to tell you. Dubai is not a normal environment for heated products. Weather keeps getting hotter, humidity is higher, you're blasting your AC full time, and the electrical loads are real. So different homes designed in different ways, different constraints. So you're not just buying a sauna, you're buying a system that needs to perform according to Dubai's conditions. And if you choose it wrong, it will fail over some time. It fails slowly in the form that it takes too long, it feels uneven, it's even annoying to maintain, it doesn't feel like how it did when it was new. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you a simple buyer's framework that actually makes your decision much more easier. Then I'll show you what most brands get wrong. And then I'll explain how Biohackn builds it differently and why does this really matter to you. Then I'll cover a few questions that most people have in their head, but they're always too shy, too afraid, they never ask. And then I'll tell you exactly what to do next. Whether you want to get on a call, you want to visit, or just get all of our secrets. Deal? Good? Now, quick introduction. My name is CJ and we build infrared sauna systems here in Dubai. We also build different kind of wellness techs. And we didn't start Biohackn because we wanted to sell just the average sauna. We started it because we saw so many people wasting serious money on wellness tools and called me and be confused, unsure, or even disappointed. And I hate that. So we built our approach around one goal only. We wanted to make it extremely simple for you to choose the right kind of tool and make it reliable for you to use long term. Now, let's get into the fun part. The biggest mistakes I think people make when they're buying a sauna. So most buyers compare sauna the same way that you would compare furniture, for example. They look at what's the wood type, how are the pictures, what is the size, what is the price, and some of the features that they don't even know about. But let me tell you something. Sauna is not a furniture. It's not a couch. It's actually, in my opinion, it's much more closer to buying a car, because when you're buying some sort of a car, comfort and performance really matters. What else matters? Safety matters, support matters, longevity matters. And just like cars, you can buy something that looks good in photos, but when you drive it, you feel like, oh my God, this is just a trash. So instead of comparing saunas like furniture, we're going to compare them like systems. So here's the system I have developed for you guys to just make your decision easier. It's called the Dubai Sauna Scoreboard. And these are the 4 things that will help you decide whether you love your sauna or it's just going to be one of those average saunas. It's all about 4 different realities, not marketing, but realities. Number 1 is consistency. Number 2 is comfort. Number 3 is safety. And number 4 is support. Now, please write those down either on a piece of paper or mentally, because that's going to allow us to create a scoreboard. Let me break it down. Let's start with the first one, consistency. In Dubai, consistency means a lot of things, which is, does it warm up properly? Is it predictable? Does it feel as strong in 12 months that it felt in week 1? What happens in the summer? What happens after multiple uses? Because anyone can make something that looks good and feels great on the installation day. But what really happens in real life when you use it daily, when different family members use it, when the door is open all the time, when the door is open and closed all the time, when the AC is cold out on the outside and the sauna is heated on the inside, when you're using a lot of different electricity in the house. So consistency is the difference between I love my sauna or I don't feel like getting into the sauna today. And when you don't use it today, you won't use it tomorrow. And that becomes very expensive decoration. So here's my simple question you can ask any sauna company. What is real warm-up time in Dubai conditions? And what should I expect after a year's usage? A serious company will answer this very confidently. Most of the resellers will do this weird thing when they start talking about like maximum temperature instead of warm-up and performance. I personally think that's a red flag because maximum temperature is very easy to claim, but consistent temperature is very hard to claim. Let's go on number two. Number two on my list is comfort. Comfort is where people get tricked because companies use labels like full spectrum infrared and many buyers just think it's the best. But comfort is not like a vocabulary test. Comfort is actually what you experience in the sauna. Does the heat feel even across all of the body or does it feel patchy? Are you hot on your chest and cold on your legs, hot on your back, cold on the sides? If the heat delivery is uneven, then the sauna, honestly, trust me, feels frustrating. People start shifting around, they stop doing their sessions, they don't do long sessions, and they stop enjoying it. So instead of obsessing over words like full spectrum sauna, you need to ask this: how do you design a heater, or how do you place those heaters to create even coverage? Because even placement of the heater matters. You would be surprised, like placement of heaters matters, distance matters, the panel layout structure matters, ventilation matters, and the interior design around the sauna also matters. You want the heat to feel warm and consistent all the time, not like a microwave sort of a heat just hits one part of your body. And comfort also includes practical things that most people forget. I cannot tell you how many people don't even look at this. What is the height of your seat? What is the angle of the backrest? What is the head space? What is the airflow? What is the noise? And what is the lighting? Do you feel like it's relaxing or it's more like a hospital or a clinic? People think that they're only looking for the heat, but what people actually want is a ritual, and a ritual needs comfort. If you don't have comfort, it's out of the box. Third thing, it's safety. Now, just imagine you're sitting in a hot box with like a lot of electrical components. Having the safety question is not me being extra dramatic, it's normal. You want the sauna to have proper load planning, good wiring standards, you need some sort of protection to be built in, and the components that can handle high heat with time. And again, if you're in Dubai, then this matters even more because most of the electrical loads in Dubai villas are completely like random. So the question to ask is, what is your installation standard and what is the safety protections that you've built into the system? If a company cannot answer that, then it could be a little bit dangerous, and it could be, I would say it's like danger dressed up as clean or like cheap pricing. Let's go for the next one, which is support. This is the silent one, which no one cares about, especially when they're excited. But support becomes everything later in life. If you buy from a brand, which is basically a middleman, you might get some attention before the sale, but after the installation happens and something messes up, imagine this, you call this number and the person on the other side says,
"Can you message this number? Let me wait for a reply. Let me check with the factory. Sorry, it's been out of warranty. Sorry, we don't have the parts right now."
Support is something that most people ignore, and it's actually the main part of the product. So here's what I would suggest. You can ask the company that you're dealing with, who services this in Dubai? What happens if I need help in 6 months? Yada, 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 all of those things. If the answer is super vague, then you're just buying stress, not a sauna. Those are my 4 steps: consistency, comfort, safety, and support. If you want to use a system, I would suggest use this. Now, let me tell you what are the other companies doing so you can spot it instantly. I'd call this the sauna marketing trap. And when you think about it, the trap is simple. Most companies will sell you with words. They might tell you, buy our sauna, it's low EMF. Buy our sauna, we have the best fluid. Buy our sauna, it's full spectrum. It's medical grade. But when you dig down deeper, all of those things are just words. The same words can describe 2 different realities, because the difference, I think, is not in the word itself. The difference is in the execution. Let's think of an analogy. Like, let's say you go for dinner, you order steak. You can go to 2 restaurants, both sell steak. One could be like so delicious and life-changing. The other one can actually be like rubber. Same word, different executions. That's how sauna shopping in Dubai is. What we have seen over the past few years. Instead of buying words, I suggest you buy evidence. Talk to them about like warm-up benchmarking, EMF readings, EMF mitigation protocols, show you the heater layout, the build quality, support standards. And if they can't show you all of these things, you're just in it for the wrong one, and trust becomes an issue. And trust is very risky when especially the money is big. So most people, what I usually see is like most people don't really see a lot of the difference in day one or the installation day, because installation day is super exciting. It smells good. The light's nice. You take good photos for Instagram. But the regret usually shows up later, and it shows up very quietly. Let's do one more thing. Instead of me lecturing you, let me tell you two quick stories that has actually happened in Dubai where people actually got the right and the wrong scoreboard. Ready? Let's go. Story number one. A guy reached out to us a while ago. He had a villa in Dubai and beautiful setup and serious budget. He didn't want to overpay, so he just cut corners and went to a seller which showed him a good picture and a good price. Installation day, he was very excited. He took videos, sent it to friends, the whole I made it a biohacker vibe. 2 months later, he started messaging everyone, and he also messaged us saying that, hey, I'm barely using it, because the experience that he had was annoying. Warm-ups were unpredictable. He just felt patchy everywhere, and it was just not a good experience. And the worst part is when he asked for help, it was like, think of it like a ping pong game, but on a slow motion. Let me check with the factory. We'll get back to you. Maybe it's your electricity. Maybe you didn't use it properly. He basically paid for a sauna and received basically no sauna which doesn't work. So what I think is you don't really buy a sauna, you buy a promise. And the promise, if it's not backed by engineering, then it's crazy. So the lesson here is very simple. If your sauna doesn't feel easy to use, you won't use it. And if you don't use it, nothing else matters. Not the wood, not the price, not the pictures, nothing. Now let me tell you about a completely opposite story. One of our clients is actually a busy professional, is always working back-to-back meetings. The stress cortisol is through the roof, and he's not trying to be like a biohacker. He just wants to feel normal, I guess. So we matched him with the setup which actually like complements his life. Not massive, not flashy, just clean, premium, the kind of things that he would naturally fit in his house and he would naturally jump into. So he starts using it 3 to 4 times a week. Again, he has some sort of good discipline as well. But when we asked him, how are you using it so often? He said like, because I just love it. He says, I love it. It's the only place where my phones, my emails, all of those things don't really like catch up to me. And his recovery went through the roof. His sleep improves, his cortisol level drops. And for him, it's like a win. For us, it's like a win. And he says, and the best part was, he's like, I don't even have to push myself to go to the sauna. This person did not buy the sauna based on a price tag. He bought the sauna based on actually his requirements. And that is the cheat code. That is the cheat code that I would like to tell you, is that just don't buy saunas because it looks pretty. Just buy them because you really need it. Next, let me tell you about something that I hear in almost all conversations these days. EMFs. It always comes up. So let's talk about it. Yes, EMF matters because you're sitting very close to an electrical component, and this is what I hate about the industry. A lot of brands use EMF as a horror story. They try to scare you, saying that everything else is dangerous and their thing is safe. But that's not science. That's actually sales persuasion tactics. Here's a better way to look at it. EMF is not like a slogan. It's a measurement. It's a measurement that matters. The one who looks at this measurement, it actually enhances the quality of the sauna. Inside the cabin, we have seating positions with the way you're using the sauna regularly. And there's a reason why people don't like to visit the EMF conversation, because their reading can change based on where you're going to be putting the reading machine. There's so many factors going into this that I cannot even explain this in the video. But what I can explain to you is our approach. Our approach is that we build low EMF design principles right from day one. So we look at engineering very seriously, and we use proper grounding practices. We look at better wiring solutions. We also design our systems to reduce the EMFs by themselves. And instead of promising you that, hey, this is the lowest EMF sauna on the planet, what we do is something more valuable. We'll show you the logic behind it. We explain like what actually impacts EMF and how can you measure it and how can you lower it down. Because the truth is much more complex. One random screenshot from one of the companies cannot really protect you. What really protects you? An engineering system, and an engineering system that is designed well. So one of the questions you can ask someone is, what is your low EMF design approach, and can you validate it in real world scenario? If they can't explain how their design approach actually makes the EMF lower, is just something that they read online, and most likely they don't even know the full form of EMF. Now let's go back to the bigger question. Why do you want the sauna in the first place? I'll tell you why most people want the sauna in the first place. Most people think they want the sauna because of one big reason, which is detoxification. But the real reason is that because sauna is just such a good wellness habit that you can easily implement. Most people feel calm, they feel energized, they have better sleep, better energy, better mood, and their resilience shoots off the roof. It is more like a nervous system reset, and especially if you're like me, you're living in Dubai, life here is fast, right? And it's also intense, especially these days. You're basically creating a predictable system, which is a reset button on your nervous system, which is as good as like in your bedroom. And the reason why I'm saying this is very important, because if you buy the sauna that actually feels annoying to use, guess what? It's not going to be your reset button. What it will become is your guilt button. So the purchase is not about the sauna itself. It's about the lifestyle that you want to build. Now, let me talk about the types of saunas, because here is where most people get a little bit stuck. Most of the questions we get: CJ, infrared or traditional? Traditional sauna is a classic one. High heat, high steam. We call it Finnish saunas. Infrared is lower temperature, but it's comfortable for most people, and you can do it more consistently. Now, I'm going to give you the truth. Neither one is better. Neither one is best. But there is something which is best for you. Some people like to experience high heat. Some people want something that is much more calmer and they can do it every day. Some people want their kids to do certain things. Some people want both. That's why this whole world of hybrid exists. And hybrid is for people who don't want to play this choosing or guessing game all over again. You can have the finished experience when you want it. You can have the infrared when you want it. And a place like Dubai, when some days, especially around the weekend, you become like a weekend warrior, and then in the weekdays, you're just like tired. So having both options is good. My personal favorite, if I had to choose one, for me, would be infrared. Now let's go to like what we are doing and what we are doing differently. So let me tell you like the Biohackn build philosophy. We build around outcomes and not around buzzwords. Our goal is super simple. We want to make a sauna that actually makes you feel good to use, and it's easy to use, and it naturally fits in your environment. So some of the things that we are obsessed about is heat distribution, so it feels even, how your comfort is when you're sitting or lying down inside, the systems and components which are actually designed for Dubai, and installations that will reduce any headaches in the future. So we're not the kind of people that will sell you something and disappear. We actually customize things right here in Dubai based on what you want. Some clients of ours, they want something super modern. Some people want something like a luxury 5-star hotel. Some people want Himalayan salt. Some people want hybrid. Some people want red light therapy. So there are so many of these, and the saunas don't have to be big. Some people want something in their bedroom. Some people want something in their office. So what we don't do is to have a cookie cutter approach, because that's not the point of building the sauna. We want to design a sauna that actually fits your life. So that's what we do differently. Now, since we've got this far and you're interested, let's talk about some things that you might have in your mind. First thing that we hear a lot is that, will I actually use it? Now, this is a real question, because most people don't fail because they don't have the willpower. They mostly fail because they bought the wrong product. They fail because the product doesn't match their lifestyle. If your sauna is uncomfortable, it's slow, it's annoying, trust me, after a month, you're not going to use it. So the smart approach would be to buy something which is much more comforting and consistent. If the experience is enjoyable, it becomes a habit automatically. Next thing people ask me is maintenance. In my opinion, maintenance should always be simple. If it is complicated, then people will avoid using the product again. It's just something that most people say, I'll deal with this later. But if you want something that is set up nicely, which you don't really have to maintain, this is where Biohackn comes in. The other thing we hear about is, what happens if I move? Now, I get it. I was born and raised here in Dubai. Dubai is a fast-moving place. People always keep moving. So we offer services where we can dismantle the entire sauna and put it in your new villa, new apartment. We can also ship it out for you. The next thing that people ask me is about space. Now, our one-person saunas can be built on balconies. It can be built on corners. The two-person sauna can be built in any tight space. And we have custom building solutions where we can take any space and convert it into a sauna. So with most companies that are offering you certain models, it might be a problem, but with us, because we can design it according to your space, there is no problem. Now, there's always one member in the family that is excited about the sauna and the other members of the family, they think, is it safe or not? It's really safe actually, but you need to keep using it to build tolerance. Always do shorter sessions, hydrate. It is completely safe. Safety is about using it smartly, and you use it smartly when you have something with a very good quality. And if you're thinking, if one of the other things is like, hey, I bought all these expensive stuff, I never use it. If you buy a sauna and use it twice a month, then it's probably a waste. If you use it 3 times a week or something, then it will have such a massive impact on your health and your ROI. Think about all the things like better sleep, your digestion improves, your recovery improves, your training improves, everything improves. So I think it is completely worth it. That's why we obsess so much about certain things, that we want to make you leave whenever you finish your session thinking that, hey, I did the right thing. So if you still are comparing different saunas in the company, then here's your action plan. Step 1 is look at the Dubai Sauna scoreboard. Remember the thing that I spoke about earlier? 4 things: consistency, comfort, safety, and support. Then ask for evidence, ask the right questions. Don't just listen to words. Warm-up times, EMFs, how many heaters, layout of the heaters, installation, support. And then one of the things that you can do, count this as step 3. If no one can answer your questions properly because they don't really have the answers. They don't have the answers, that means it will automatically get you more and more stress and trouble in the future. Okay? So here's what you can do with us. We can send you a complete buyer's checklist so you can compare all of the saunas in the market or around the world intelligently. We designed a whole book for you, or you can visit our showroom and see the technology, talk to one of us, or get a quick call with me or my team, and we can recommend something for you. If you're in the UAE, we can also send someone for a free assessment to your house. So at least you can make your decisions with eyes open rather than eyes closed. Because one of the only things that is worse than spending money is spending money on the wrong things and then regretting it later. So here's the message I want to leave you with today. Don't buy a sauna because it looks good in pictures. Buy a sauna so you can actually make it a lifestyle and make it a ritual that makes you lighter, calmer, more energetic, stronger, resilient. And in the end of the day, you're actually proud that you invested in something for yourself and your family, and when you look back 5 years later, you're going to be proud of yourself. So if you want the checklist, want to book a quick consult, book a quick call, just message us. In the meanwhile, all the things that we're giving you is for free. Use the scoreboard, and this is how you're going to win in this situation. Thank you so much for spending your time with me.